What's going on, everyone? It's your boy, the Fantasy Football Almanac, back at it with another best ball draft video. Today we're hopping in the third of the puppy drafts here, hoping to get a really good team. Oh man, HP support assistant. Just launched my laptop. Either way, we're getting into this best ball puppy draft. We're hoping for one of these two players right now. We're pick 6. Usually the five guys are the five guys, they're not usually splitting up in any order, but it's always possible you can get somebody like you could always get somebody like Jamar Chase. If RCJH does decide to reach, which he does not, we could have gotten Jamar Chase, but instead we end up with Austin Ekeler, a guy we're more than fine with. I mean, you can't be mad getting Austin Ekeler, a guy who had 20 touchdowns last year. I mean, that is due for regression, but he's one of the best offenses in the entire league. Debatably the best offense. I mean, I would probably say no, but it is certainly possible. And then we have Diggs go off. This is actually my exact order, honestly, in terms of player strengths and weaknesses. I think this is the best order you can go. You can even make a case for Christian McCaffrey to go 1, but I personally wouldn't do it. We got Devonte Adams coming off the board at pick 8. This is where it starts to differ from my order a little bit. Derrick Henry at pick 9. I probably personally would take Derrick Henry at 8, just because, I mean, it's Derrick Henry, guy's an absolute monster. And he can have those absolute boom weeks. I mean, he can put up 45 points in a week and not even blink an eye. So if you're getting him, he can certainly win you week 17, which is what matters. Week 17 right here. This is what you want. You're looking to win these prizes. You're looking to win $200,000, $100,000, $60,000. That's really the goal here, is to win that type of money. And Derrick Henry provides that ceiling. So does Devonte, I guess, to an extent, but I mean, I just look at it as got a quarterback downgrade and more competition. I mean, Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow is better than just Allen Lazard and like Robert Tonyan, I guess. And you got Aaron Jones too, but like, come on. So I don't see as much the highest ceiling, at least with Devonte Adams. I think he will still be, obviously it's Devonte Adams, he'll still be excellent, but I view him as a rung below these guys, and even probably below Stephon Diggs here. And then we got Travis Kelsey coming off the board, CeeDee Lamb, Dalvin Cook. Here, there's one guy I'm really eyeing up. I imagine he won't be on the board here, but if I could pair up Austin Ekeler and Saquon Barkley, I mean, that would just be amazing. I imagine Saquon Barkley goes off the board here. I imagine DeAndre Swift will probably be off the board in a second as well. That would be the other guy I would hope for. I was going to say he's most likely off the board, but if Saquon's going before him, then yeah, there's no way. If you guys are watching this video, though, if you guys do enjoy, please go down and leave a like below. Leave a comment, #bestball, so you'll be entered into my giveaway, which is down in the description below. And subscribe. I mean, that would just be awesome. Make my day. Makes sense. Aaron Jones is not playing in the preseason. DeAndre Swift comes off the board. A little tough. Honestly, really tough. This is like the worst position I wanted to be in. Like, these guys I really don't like as much. This, like, sucks, honestly. This is really tough. We'll take Aaron Jones here, although I don't like it. I don't really want to take Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Jones has got to be the pick here. I was honestly considering going Alvin Kamara because of the suspension rumors, him probably not getting suspended at this point. But it does stink because these are all guys I'm really like. DeAndre Swift, Najee Harris, Debo, and Mark Andrews. After this, they're definitely, in my opinion, is a tier break, and these are all my guys. I mean, I prefer Najee, Aaron, all these guys over Aaron Jones. Personally, I think Aaron Jones is going to be great. I mean, I think I've consistently slept on Aaron Jones since he's come in. But at the same time, I think Aaron Jones this year is dealing with competition. That's usually why I was down on Aaron Jones, but this year it feels way more legitimate. I mean, A.J. Dillon outscored him the final 7 weeks of the season. It just concerns me if your running back 1 is somebody, or your running back 2, I guess in this case, is somebody that's probably going to be in a timeshare. I just really don't like timeshares. If A.J. Dillon does go down, though, Aaron Jones is an absolute monster with this pick. And the same thing with A.J. Dillon. If A.J. Dillon goes down, oh my god. So here, I really like DJ Moore, personally, to be honest. I think Mike Williams is also a good pick, but I really have been eating DJ Moore recently. I'm fine with either of these two guys, though. I don't really prefer to take Josh Allen. We're going to go DJ Moore here. I think that's probably our best option. I mean, DJ Moore's an absolutely phenomenal player. I can't be too mad about it. Zeke at pick 29. Oh my god. Maybe last year. I mean, last year was going to pick 6 or something. Zeke, I think it's finally time to say. I mean, he's been in the league for so long, been arguably the most dominant running back in terms of just consistency. Probably, honestly, that I can remember. I can't think of a running back that's been more consistent than Zeke's. Never missed a game. Even last year, people sleep. He finished as the RB6. I mean, if I were to ask people where Zeke finished last year, you would probably say the RB20, RB15, something like that. But no, he finishes the RB6, and that's crazy to me. Something a lot of people I think are sleeping on, but I'm also not drafting much Zeke, so I'm also one of the people sleeping on it because it's like it's a little scary, honestly. I'm not sure if I can necessarily say I trust Zeke like that much, honestly. We still have Josh Allen on the board. My philosophy is like if Josh Allen's gonna fall this far, 12 picks, I will gladly take him. He does not. We'll probably end up with one of these wide receivers. I really hope for Hollywood. We are kind of getting sniped here, pretty much over and over again. I mean, Hollywood probably will be falling a little bit, based on the news that he did get like freaking arrested. So he probably will fall. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. We're gonna take Jerry Jeudy here then. I do. I like Jerry Jeudy here a lot. Deontay Johnson's somebody who's been falling a lot for like no reason, honestly. It doesn't really make much sense to me. Here we're going to be at pick 54, and then we're probably going to take Godwin, honestly. We got George Kittle. All these tight ends are getting really, really pushed up. I imagine Darren Waller will probably get pushed up as well based on how this room is drafting. Allen Robinson's a guy I definitely have been sleeping on, a guy I'm higher on, but I just like so many guys in this range. I really just like, I do. I think all of these guys are just like so talented. Like Hollywood, I would rather have Jerry Jeudy. I would rather have Jalen Waddle. I would rather have. That's not even like a knock on Allen Robinson. The ceiling is definitely there for him too for Allen Robinson. I don't know why I'm low. I guess I just don't like drafting him in this range. I would probably rather have him over Terry. Because I've never been a big Terry McLaurin guy, but we do have this wide receiver runs kind of in full force right now. I'm imagining it's nice that we started with Jerry Jeudy, but I'm really hoping we can get one more of these guys. Start the run and maybe end the run. Deontay would be fine. I imagine Gabe Davis is off the board by the time we pick again. Herbert would be an interesting pick just because of the stack. I wouldn't be too mad taking Herbert, but I just don't really like taking Herbert in this range. Especially if the quarterback 2 is still on the board here. It does mean QBs are most likely going to fall. That's always been my thought process. Like, Justin Herbert's already still here. So is Lamar. So is Mahomes. Quarterbacks are going to fall in this class. I mean, I could almost guarantee it. Quarterbacks are going to be falling. So I'm thinking potentially we can get Jalen Hurts at pick 67. I'm really hoping for one of Chris Godwin or Darnell Mooney. I usually don't take many of these top 3 guys. My most drafted quarterback is Jalen Hurts by far. Yeah, I really don't take many of these guys. So we need to get value where we can. We need to get this value at wide receiver so that way we can have an actually stacked wide receiver core. And then hopefully come back and get a fire QB as well. That would be awesome. I think Brandon Cooks here is a value too, but I would just rather have Chris Godwin. I think the problem with Brandon Cooks is that like you're never gonna have those like insane like boom weeks in best ball. I think in redraft he's an insane value, but I think in best ball I am a little timid to take a guy like Brandon Cooks because he doesn't have that upside, that swing for the fences type of mentality. So we're gonna take Chris Godwin here. I think Godwin probably is the move. Oh, I could have taken Amari Cooper as well. I think Amari Cooper would have been an interesting pick. I think he will definitely be off the board by the time we pick next. Him and Darnell Mooney. I mean, that would be crazy if they fell. But we do have a lot of guys without quarterbacks here, but still, wow. Not many quarterbacks off the board. I imagine at least. What the hell? We have 2 people going 2 tight end strategies. We got Travis Kelsey, Mark Andrews on one team, and then George Kittle and Darren Waller on another. I think maybe George Kittle and Darren Waller is a little bit more justifiable because you're at least getting like really good guys. Like you have Devonte Adams, Najee, and James Conner. But with Mark Andrews and Travis Kelsey, your next best player is Courtland Sutton. Like I just don't understand how it's possible. And you do have the stack with Mahomes. He might actually. He's definitely going to do this. He's definitely taking Lamar Jackson. He's going to try and get both the stacks with Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson here at pick 63. So if Lamar does fall, I imagine Justin Herbert comes off the board as well. It does stink a little bit, but it still is entirely possible we end up with Jalen Hurts. If the only case that I wouldn't take Jalen Hurts here is if Amari Cooper comes on the board. still, just because I think like the upside is totally there, and I think he'd be a phenomenal wide receiver to have in this range. Uh, but I imagine he probably won't be. I mean, I like all four of these guys, and I'm 5 picks away, so it is entirely possible. We just have to see if we can get a little value falling. I think Amari Cooper probably is falling a little bit back down because the Deshaun Watson scare. I wonder where Deshaun Watson is ranked now. Just because the NFL is appealing, so it is entirely possible that the NFL does appeal. I might have to take Amari Cooper here, honestly. If there's still 3 phenomenal quarterbacks on the board, I pick again at 78. I could get Trey Lance at 78. I don't think Amari Cooper will be here, though. But if he is, I mean, I just have to take him. Kyler Murray comes off the board. Amari Cooper. We got to go Lamar here simply because Lamar Jackson picked 67, 20 picks behind his ADP. I mean, I prefer Jalen Hurts, but like if I'm going to get Lamar here, I will gladly take Lamar. And then I probably, I mean, if Jalen Hurts somehow makes it to me, I'll take Jalen Hurts any day of the week. It does stink we got sniped on Amari, but I mean, I can't be mad at getting Lamar instead. I mean, either way, I do really like this team. I have reached all 3 of my wide receivers here, but getting Lamar makes up for all of that. Honestly, I will gladly take this team. Let me know what you guys think about this roster down below in the comments. Also, leave a like on this video and subscribe if you do enjoy. We are taking full advantage of this quarterback run. We got Tom Brady, Joe Burrow off the board right after we get Lamar Jackson. And I'm sure you guys know this. These are absolutely massive downgrades over Lamar. Not in terms of actual quarterbacks. I mean, Tom Brady's obviously still probably a top 4 quarterback at this point. I mean, I think the top 4 is pretty consistent in terms of legitimate NFL quarterbacks with Tom Brady, in no particular order. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes. But in terms of fantasy, Lamar blows these 2 guys away just because he can run the ball so much more. And at the end of the day, if you rush for 60 yards, or if you rush for 40 yards, that's a passing touchdown. And Lamar can run for 1,000 yards. So that's that's so many. What is that? I mean, if he runs for 800 yards, that's 20 passing touchdowns. That's impossible to replicate. I mean, unless you're putting up 50 touchdowns in a season, which Tom Brady, I'm not going to put it past him, guy's insane. But at the same time, I mean, I don't think anyone can really expect or project Tom Brady to throw 50 touchdowns. And Joe Burrow, I love this man to death. I mean, I was clamoring over all the Cincinnati offense last year. I mean, they were my dark horse pick. And they ended up doing really well. They did better than even I expected. I mean, I didn't think they were going to go to the Super Bowl, but I was like, they'll definitely be like the most improved team. I mean, Jamar Chase is awesome, everything like that. So I was like, they're definitely going to be a really vastly improved team. And they were. I mean, I'm very proud of that take. But Joe Burrow is not the type of guy most likely you can't bet on to throw 50 touchdowns. He's absolutely insane, don't get me wrong, but 50 touchdowns is a lot to ask of any player. Here, we may honestly double up and take another, that or Dalton Schultz. I think Dalton Schultz is probably the move here, especially because quarterbacks, Dalton Schultz comes off the board. We're going to go Trey Lance here. We're going to get 2 absolutely phenomenal rushing QBs. Our ceiling at quarterback is absolutely insane. We don't need to take another one. Our only weakness here really is tight end. I think T.J. Hawkinson falls a fair amount, and I think it's pretty stupid that he does. I think T-Hawk is now at the point where he's a value again. I mean, I would much rather have him than Dallas Goedert or Dawson Knox, for that matter. I just think T.J. Hawkinson dealt with some injuries last season, definitely is suppressed because of that. I mean, I would much rather have Dalton Schultz than T.J. Hawkinson, but a whole round later, when you can get Trey Lance in this round, you can get Allen Lazard in this round. I mean, there's just so many guys, so many quality guys that you can take here. I think it's definitely worth it. T.J. Hawkinson does come off the board, so it's fine. We're gonna play really late tight end then. We're probably gonna end up with someone like Irv Smith. Tight ends are getting pushed up a little bit here just because of the crazy strategies that other people in this draft class have been starting to pull off. I'm torn between 2 guys here, whether it be Olave or Edmonds. I think either one is fine. I think going Edmonds here is, I don't know. I do like Edmonds a lot. I do think Olave is so talented too. This range, This range for me is pretty tough, honestly. I mean, also Kareem Hunt's on the board, but it's unlikely he makes it back to us at 102. The wide receivers at 102 are pretty bad, though. I'm not gonna lie. I think Olave is probably the pick here. Chase Evans comes off the board anyways, making our lives a lot easier for that. Even though it sucks. I mean, I was really hoping I would have preferred the choice, I guess, but it doesn't happen. I mean, realistically, yeah, Kareem Hunt's off the board as well. But there are still guys, I mean, Singletary, James Cook, both trending upwards in terms of ADP. So it is entirely possible to get one of them. I mean, Sky Moore would be nice as well. The only problem is now, I mean, we're really running like a hero RB strategy at this point. We probably end up with someone like Algier late. I don't know. I don't really like having like only two really solid RBs. I usually like to have three. But with this team build, I mean, I think it's pretty smart because we do have Eckler and Aaron Jones. I mean, I think if AJ Dillon goes down, Aaron Jones is an absolute phenomenal running back. And we got Lamar and Trey Lance. We have really, really high upside with a lot of our players. I mean, definitely bats wings. DJ Moore is more the staple piece, I guess, but even still, he's got a lot of upside. Overall, I really like this team build. I'm just worried at tight end. I don't think we have much in the ways of talented tight ends. Maybe we take Dawson Knox here. I think Dawson Knox is a guy who can at least... Dawson Knox comes off the board. I think we go here, honestly, James Cook. I think James Cook is probably the pick just because we do secure a third running back spot. And if James Cook is the starter here, which I don't deem as the most likely that he's going to be coming in as a workhorse, but he will be receiving a lot of the receiving work, I think. Because that's what he profiles to be. That's who he kind of is. Brothers with Dalvin. Dalvin's obviously a phenomenal running back. He's not as built as his brother, but still is going to be a pretty good running back in the NFL, I think. And they did take him in the second round, meaning that they at least have hope that he could be a somewhat decent running back. I mean, maybe it's a committee approach, but I do think whoever's getting the passing work in that offense will probably be pretty decent at least. I mean, Josh Allen doesn't really check down to the backs that much just because he's a rushing quarterback. Rushing quarterbacks almost never check down. That's why J.K. Dobbins, you never see any checks down from. Nick Chubb's never getting any check down work. I mean, I guess Baker was just terrible, but Baker wasn't really a rushing QB, but and they also had Kareem Hunt for that. But James Cook, I mean, it is possible if Josh Allen does stay in the pocket more this season, which has been rumored. I'm not sure how true it's going to be, but if he does stay in the pocket more this season, James Cook's a great pick here. I don't really own too much James Cook, though, but I think it's a fine pick. Now, we'll probably end up taking Rondell Moore. I probably prefer Rondell Moore over Garrett Wilson, just because I just don't really know how good the Jets' offense is going to be. I think they profile to be a lot stronger of an offense than last year. I mean, that's just for sure. I guess we are going to take Garrett Wilson here. Chase Claypool is somebody I hate drafting, honestly. Personal bias maybe. And I love Chase Claypool coming out with I think the Steelers got him in like middle of round 2, like 45th pick. I was a huge fan of him in college. But now in the NFL, I just don't know. I mean, not in terms of his talent. Like, I think the talent is 1,000% there. But at the same time, I can't say I trust the offense that much, all things considered. Because the quarterback play is just going to be awful. I mean, who the hell is he going to be catching the ball from? Either Mitch Trubisky, the biggest piece of garbage, one of the biggest busts I think we've ever seen, or rookie Kenny Pickens, or Kenny Pickett, who, I mean, I imagine won't be getting a lot of starting work this year, unless Trubisky really shits the bed, which he kind of did. I mean, he went 0 for 16 in 2-yard drills at practice. I mean, that's just embarrassing. Embarrassing. Irv Smith coming off the board at pick 120. I'm a little bit surprised, but that is an interesting pick. Julio Jones been trending up an absolute ton. Christian Watson getting sniped from us. We might honestly take Julio here. I mean, Julio at least profiles to be somebody who... I keep using the word profiles now. He looks like he's going to be somewhat relevant, I guess, in this offense. I mean, if Julio Jones comes back and is the Julio of old, or 50% of the Julio of old, I mean, that's all you can ask for. We saw what happened with AB last season. We saw what happened with AB. My one problem with drafting Julio here, though, is that the ADP is now his ADP is really, really, really high. It would have been nice to have taken Christian Watson here. I mean, that just would have been phenomenal. But I couldn't justify it. I couldn't get him. Now I'm really hoping we can get a tight end or two to fall. If we can get Cole Kmet here, I'd be fine with that. Freiermuth wouldn't be terrible, I guess. Although Freiermuth is somebody I am a little concerned with. I mean, he definitely had a fair amount of touchdowns on not that much volume last year. And who knows if the new quarterback, whoever it ends up being, is even going to really like him. Is he even going to like him as a target or anything? I mean, you just don't know. So that's why, it's okay, I guess. We got Devontae Parker, Cole Kmet coming off the board. A little unfortunate, but makes sense. I mean, I probably should have taken him at 126, to be honest with you. I mean, that probably would have been the best move, but it's okay. I do like this roster a lot. Let me know down below what you guys think of this overall core of Austin Ekeler, Aaron Jones, and James Cook, and then these wide receivers. It's absolutely insane wide receivers. We also do have 2 Tampa Bay wide receivers. Would have been nice if we could have gotten Tom Brady, but I mean, just pretty much implausible. We got Gallup coming off on the board still. A guy I do really like. I mean, won't be ready for week 1, which is unfortunate. But when he comes back, he will hopefully ascend to be that wide receiver 2. Potentially. I mean, it's obviously nothing set in stone, but it is possible. And if he is, I mean, that's insane. You're wide receiver 2 in one of the highest passing volume offenses in the entire league. I heard a stat the other day that CeeDee Lamb is the only wide receiver in that offense to catch a touchdown in his entire career, starting week 1. So, I mean, whoever ends up taking the reins in that offense is going to be absolutely insane. We get Gallup, though. We get Gallup, which is really nice. I will gladly take him here. I mean, that's just awesome. Tyler Algier coming off the board, pick 140. Somebody I would have liked to pick 150. Now we'll just end up taking a stupid-ass backup running back, which I mean is fine, I guess, Not terrible. Naheem Hines coming off the board. We have a lot of wide receivers here. We have 7 wide receivers, which kind of actually I don't really like because there's a lot of wide receivers late that I really like this year. I think guys like Pickens is a smart pickup. I think Dobbs has been trending up. I mean, I think Dobbs could easily be a good pickup. Praised by Aaron Rodgers. Rare rookie to earn praise from Aaron Rodgers. I did see this report today. I mean, yeah, that's crazy. So I think Romeo Dobbs is a good pick. Donovan Peoples-Jones, I think, is really good. KJ Hamler now with what's his name down. What's his name? Tim Patrick out. I mean, I think it's a great pick. Where's Tim Patrick's ADP now, I wonder? Is he just removed entirely? Because I did see him yesterday at pick 130 something. I guess they just removed him entirely. Or somebody accidentally took him, maybe? Let's see. Nah, he would be, wow, okay, interesting. Oh, we are up in 1 pick. Who's the best tight end on the board? All these tight ends suck. I'm going to go Njoku. I've been hammering more Njoku now. I just think Njoku's probably a smart pick here. Even like Van Jeff. Even though Van Jeff is injured right now, and I'm a little concerned he might not return for week 1. He's a guy who's going to be catching all the deep bomb passes. And what more can you ask for in a best ball format? I mean, deep bombs are the bread and butter of best ball. I do really like this team. We have phenomenal quarterback play. I think Hero RB is probably a pretty good strategy. And then our wide receivers are sexy. And then Njoku is somebody with a lot of upside. We'll probably end up taking 1 more running back. Ronald Jones is still on the board? Oh my god. Wow, that's crazy. Did something happen that I just don't know about, that I just didn't hear about in training camp? Isaiah McKenzie, guy has been floating up. I mean, there's been nothing but praise coming out from the Bills side of things. But Isaiah McKenzie looks really good this year, so I mean, if he continues on this trajectory, if you're the wide receiver 2 in that offense, I mean, why not, Why not take a shot on a guy who could be the wide receiver 2 for Josh Allen? That's why a lot of people really like Gabe Davis. I mean, obviously everyone saw what happened with Gabe Davis. Oh my God, Deshaun Watson still on the board. I mean, that is pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. If he's still on the board, I'm not gonna take him on my next pick because we have Lamar and Trey Lance. I don't know. If I knew he was gonna fall this far, I would definitely have waited. I definitely would not have taken Trey Lance, but here we may go KJ Hamler again. I really like KJ Hamler here. We might go KJ Hamler, Dobbs, and Donovan Peoples, and then take a second tight end, hopefully Hayden Hurst or someone like that, and then just get a fourth running back, just get a BS guy. KJ Hamler's off the board now. A little unfortunate. We're gonna take Dobbs here then. I know we're reaching 20 picks on ADP, but I mean, I think Romeo Dobbs is a really smart pick. I think if you're being praised by Aaron Rodgers and there's no Christian Watson, and Christian Watson misses time and doesn't mesh with Aaron Rodgers, a very timing-based quarterback, then why not go Romeo Dobbs? I mean, Christian Watson, he was my guy. I'm not gonna lie, like a guy I was sticking through thick and thin because I thought that if he gets the starting job, the second wide receiver spot, then why not? Why not take Aaron Rodgers as second wide receiver? But if it profiles to be Dobbs, then I will gladly throw my hands up and say I was wrong. I was wrong. It's Romeo Dobbs, and take Dobbs. I mean, that's my feeling on it. I think it's okay to admit you were wrong. I still think Christian Watson was the guy that I drafted to be that wide receiver, and in the best ball format, I think it is probably smart. But I mean, it is entirely possible that it doesn't work out, with Christian Watson, and that's okay. Gotta admit, you make mistakes sometimes. I don't even know if it is a mistake. I still think Christian Watson's gonna be absolutely insane this year, but it is possible. We're gonna take Donovan Peoples here too. I think is Deshaun Watson's still on the board. We're gonna take Donovan Peoples and then try and take Deshaun Watson in the next round. And then we'll just take another BS tight end or something like that. Like you know who I'm talking about. If Higbee somehow makes it to us, Higbee would be nice. But really, anybody like that, Tyler Higbee coming off the board. We'll take Donovan Peoples here. A guy I really like. A guy I think could have a really significant role in this offense. If you have the number 2 job for Deshaun Watson, I mean, that's pretty good number 2. Especially, I mean, people say it's going to be your own first offense. I disagree, honestly. I mean, I think if you have Deshaun Watson, you're not in a run first offense, to be 100% honest. So we're going to be taking Deshaun Watson here in the next round if he somehow falls. I think at this point, I mean, he's just got to be a value. I usually don't like taking 3 QBs, especially when I have 2 QBs of this caliber. But at this point, I mean, if I'm getting Deshaun Watson here, I'm taking Deshaun Watson. I mean, we just have two. We also have a fair amount of Cleveland wide receivers or like wide receiver pieces. We got Njoku and Donovan Peoples here, so I think it is smart. Honestly, I might just wait until I might wait until 198 potentially. I think 198 is probably smarter because I mean I guess actually I don't know. Evan Ingram, none of these tight ends really make a difference to me. I mean, okay, Deshaun Watson's off the board. I'm fine with it just because we already have insane quarterback play. I'm honestly glad. It's just so tempting. We could honestly go a 10th wide receiver, though. Here, I think going Paris Campbell. If Paris Campbell makes it back to us, Paris Campbell would be the best pick. And then, honestly, maybe even Brevin Jordan. And after that, I mean, we're just talking about dog shit here, I feel bad saying that. These guys are all NFL pros. I mean, it's pretty wrong to say something like that, but it's true. I mean, it's just players who are not fantasy relevant here at this point. Very rarely fantasy relevant. The guys who catch the deep bomb, in best ball, they're much better. But in redraft leagues, I mean, guys you're never even considering. I would never take Evan Ingram because I would never start him. I mean, there's just no point. There's no case where I would ever start him. Unless a change of scenery is really just what he needed. I would never start him. Surprised Paris Campbell's still on the board. I feel like Paris Campbell, I think he's pretty I think he should be set to be the wide receiver 2 in this offense. And I mean, Michael Pittman's being drafted as an absolutely phenomenal player. And I'm not going to knock Michael Pittman as much as I have in the past. I mean, I think he's at least like a talented wide receiver, but where he's going, I just don't like at all. I think Paris Campbell definitely profiles to be that wide receiver 2, and if he takes some volume, I mean, you can't really be too happy about it as a Michael Pittman stand. So I'm going to take Paris Campbell. Then we're done with wide receivers. We got 2 quarterbacks, 3 running backs, and a tight end here. So we'll take one more tight end, most likely. Probably Brevin Jordan, and then hope a random running back falls to us, whoever that may be. Maybe I don't want Mark Ingram. Dante Foreman is interesting. I do like Dante Foreman just because, I mean, he's probably going to be the number 2 to Christian McCaffrey. And if you think Christian McCaffrey's injury prone, blah, 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 whatever, I don't. But he has shown that he has gotten injured more often than the average running back. So I think it is at least a case you can make to take Dante Foreman here. I think those are the last 2 players I'm going to go with. But yeah, please go down, leave a like on this video, leave a comment down below, hashtag best ball so you can enter the contest, and then leave another comment saying, how you think I did in this draft? If I took too many wide receivers, waited too long for a tight end, please just let me know. I hope you guys all have an awesome day.